I quit my dream job of traveling Canada, meeting amazing people, experiencing new things to go back into an office. Here's why.
Alright, yeah, there's no like shot or
Oh, yeah.
What? I was saving.
So back in April, I was working at an office as a filmmaker, found it really boring, so I quit my job to travel Canada for a living, and now I'm back in an office. I'm living like the dude from SpongeBob, you know? Well, imagine a life where you didn't have to go to a fluorescent lit office and you can spend your time outside enjoying nature. A life where you didn't have to have the same small talk conversation by the water cooler, and you can meet amazing people from all over the world, from every different background, every different culture. A life where you can stop existing and you can finally start living. So after $7,000 and 4 months of intense schooling to become a tour guide, I got my dream job where I was meeting amazing people, I was experiencing new things, and I actually felt like I was living. But was I really living? I know that's a deep philosophical Joe right now. I have to first define what is existing and what is living. You right now, you're living in a daily routine. You may be in school, you may be at a job right now, but after work, you go home, you do your hobbies, or you chill, or you sit on the toilet while you scroll through TikTok getting hemorrhoids. After that, you hit the sack, then you go to bed, then you repeat the cycle over and over and over and over again. This right here, this cycle, this is the box of daily experience. We all have a routine we follow day after day after day. Your box looks way different than my box, but we're all living the box of daily experience. Like we're all living like the dude from SpongeBob. It's not just me. And as humans, we just crave novelty. We engage in something new, and this something new can look like a new car, a new relationship, looks like travel, but ultimately, this box stays the same. This new stimuli that enters your life, it's part of the box of daily experience. Once that excitement fades away, you're back right where you started. This new thing becomes just as boring as everything else. So what's the solution? Well, I thought it was quitting everything and getting my dream job as a tour guide, but I was wrong. This new job, it just became part of the box of daily experience. I mean, yes, my office looked like this, but I was still in the box. I was still trapped. I thought traveling was going to be my escape of this box of daily experience, but it just ended up becoming the thing that I was running away from. When you're young and naive, it's extremely difficult to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. It's a very confusing time. So during my travels, I actually met people who found their dream job and asked them a couple questions about how they found it.
What is your name and what do you do?
My name is Kim Arts and I drive Zodiac at Funny Title Board Adventures.
I'm Brett Doyle, owner of Outer Limit Sports in Charlottetown, PEI.
So I am Zach. I am a winemaker and I co-own a winery.
What were you doing in your early 20s?
I was actually running this store and the golf store next door, King of Clubs. So those are two stores that I own in Charlottetown here.
I'm getting my paralegal degree.
So in my early 20s, I was traveling. So I was trying to find myself through travel. Couldn't figure out what I wanted to do there at university, and I figured the best way to find the answers was through travel. But for me, it was not just sitting at home and watching YouTube videos. To do it. And so I, figured out a budget, figured out a way to do it, and didn't look back. And so when I left that airport from home, there was no return ticket, but I knew I wasn't coming home for, months to years until I figured that out.
When I was 19, actually, I was using travel as a form of escape. It was my escape from this box of daily experience. I didn't have to think about the lack of purpose I found with my day jobs. But every time I came back, this box was here. I thought becoming a tour guide would help me escape this box, but the box is always there. The solution is actually looking within. As a tour guide, most of the work was coming through pleasure. I was a dopamine fiend. Like in the mornings, I would be at a new city, try new food, have a new experience. And in the night, I was either drinking, I was partying, or I was clubbing. It felt good. I'm not gonna deny it didn't feel good. But the thing was, I was like a blob receiving pleasurable sensations versus me becoming an actualized version of myself. that wasn't my calling. How do people figure out what they want to do for the rest of their lives?
Like, what was the event that got you from being a paralegal to doing this?
Coming out as a customer.
Coming out as a customer?
Yeah.
Was just really interested in the sports that we currently sell, and I was active and involved in them, and I just found that I was constantly looking for, you know, bikes and skis and snowboards that I couldn't find. There was no one here in the local market selling it, but a lot of my friends that were starting to get into it were coming to me asking for advice, what they should buy and where they should buy it, and I found I was doing all the research for them and figuring out exactly what they should get, and then I was sending them to some other company from them to buy it, and I thought, well, this is crazy. I should just be the one selling it to them because I'm doing all the work for this other company anyway. So I just slowly started selling stuff just sort of out of my locker at high school while I was in school. And then when I graduated school, I realized, you know, this is what I want to do. I want to work for myself. And I took the plunge and opened a physical store, and then grew and grew until here we are today.
So for me, I was always so open to opportunities, saying yes as much as I could. But I was trying to explore myself, figure out what I wanted to do and who I was, and so I did it through travel. But at the same time, I didn't want to just do some simple things and some simple sites. It was like just really go outside of my comfort zone to find it. And I found mine haphazardly while hitchhiking through Germany. Hitchhiked with a vineyard owner who, during the middle of harvest, and he was trying to find some grape pickers, and I was trying to find free place to crash that night. And so crashed at their place, had some free room and board in exchange for working, doing something sort of cool in a beautiful site.
Is it good to feel good or do good? I thought I would find happiness with external stimuli, but I realized I wanted to do good and not just feel good. And that's why I quit my job to become a content creator. Well, now I am back in an office. I'm expressing myself creatively, I'm becoming a better storyteller, and most importantly, I'm becoming a better version of myself. It is 100% better to do good than to feel good. Now, I'm back in the box of daily experience, just with a new mindset.
Was there like a specific moment, or you were just like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
It was an adrenaline rush, and it's in my backyard, and I've lived here my whole life and didn't even realize I had this in my backyard. So I'm like, I need to drive a boat. So I came in and drove a boat the next year.
No, I feel like I knew that really early on. You know, even before I started this business, there were several other smaller businesses before this that I owned and ran. I always really knew that I was going to do something working for myself, and that's why I didn't really mind when I left high school. I didn't actually go to university. I took the plunge and said, okay, I'm going to take the money that I would have put into university, and I'm actually going to put it into opening a store. And I didn't mind doing that because I sort of felt in my heart that there's probably never going to be a time that I'm going to need that diploma to get a job, because I really felt I was always going to work for myself. And I figured I would learn enough hands-on over the next 4 years running my own business as much as I would if I took business at university. And luckily it panned out, and yeah, I'm still running the store.
So I literally had this like euphoric feeling like resonating through me when I found it. Like, and I found it because it was this powerful moment where it was, you know, a beautiful site. There was like this romantic vibe about the site, not like romantic with someone, just like this you know, 100-year-old vines in Europe, the gorgeous view, you know, and understanding like the culture and the history and the traditions of this product, you know, community and art and science and history, and wanting to be a part of it, and knowing like how long it took to get this product to where it was today, but still wanting to figure out how to be part of then like the future of this whole product. And yeah, and then obviously it helps that it involved drinking some wine as well. Like,
what these people have taught me is that you can be good at something, but you have a certain aptitude to do specific work. You may have the perfect setup, good paying job, good paying benefits, paid vacation, but they're golden handcuffs to what you actually want to do in life, what you were actually born to do. I quit my dream job to pursue my actual dream job. The box of daily experience, the thing I was running from, I ended up chasing. Stay on average, fools.
What advice would you give someone in their early 20s who's trying to find their own path?
Don't be afraid to take the plunge. You live once, you need to go for it. If it doesn't work out, you try. Never be afraid to try something new.
I would say, like, don't be scared to take risks. I think if you talk to most people that are successful, at some point in time they've taken some sort of a risk. You know, it's easy to just get settled into your normal flow and be comfortable with that, but I think at some point in time, if you go out on a limb and take a risk, often, or hopefully anyways, often it's going to pay off. But there's generally nothing's going to happen unless you do take those risks. So you got to do that sometime.
Don't settle for status quo. Go push your limits, push yourself, because ultimately, yeah, like if you don't push yourself to grow, to try new things, to experience new things, and take some chances, you know, you're going to wake up 10, 20, 30 years later and just be like, where the friggin' hell did my life go?